everybody. I am here. Hi, everybody. I am here. How are you? There we go. I'm working on something, and until everybody gets in, I will keep working on it. So come on in, pull up a chair. We're only going to be here until 4:30 today. Hi, Ronnie, you're back. I don't have to worry. Hi, Sonia. Okay, so it's 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you all set your clocks back. I never miss the fallback because I get an extra hour of sleep. Yay! So that's too good. So how is everybody? I am so glad Bonnie's here. I tell you what, Melissa worked so hard last week trying to keep up. She types for a living too as part of her job. And she said, whew, she was trying so hard to keep up and filling in words if I forgot. So, but it's awfully nice to have our Bonnie back. I tell you what, it is not the same without you, girlfriend. So I'm working on something. While y'all come in and say hi, and oh, okay. All right, not a problem. You take your time, and hopefully the storms won't cause you much trouble, because I tell you what, we have some good old storms nowadays, don't we? So let me try. I'm excited to show this to Bonnie. So let me try to get this. I think Bonnie will be very proud of me. So I was working on it last night and filming something that I'm back into filming now. I got the final push of paperwork and preparations done for the retreat. So hopefully my life will start to go back to somewhat normal. But if you've been watching this a while, you know that nothing about my life seems normal. So it's just the way it is. But I'm so glad to see you all. It's been a very good week. I've had a good week. I got a lot done, and that was needed. So I am so glad you're here. And y'all just get in and get settled. And if Bonnie sees colors, she might know what I'm working on. But I wanted to make Miss Bonnie proud because I missed her last week. And she wore the cutest t-shirt for Halloween. I mean, how cool is that? My sister friend wore a cool shirt. We're going to have our drawing too. We got a lot of right answers. We fooled one person, but the others we got right. So for the Jenny Beyer question, let me hold on 1 second. Okay, the question was, it was a nationally known contest. Best quilt in America, something like that, roughly speaking, because I don't remember the exact name. And she entered it, and she won the grand prize out of 10,000 entries, and it was in 1975? Something like that. And she won out of 10,000 entries, and her quilt that she won with. Oh, okay. I'll wait for Bonnie to come back. So anybody know the quilt? I have seen it in person. Yes, I'm quite special. But I have seen it in person, and and it's so funny because they were talking years ago, and quilts, people didn't realize the value of quilts like they do now. Does everyone remember when Al Roker said that horrible thing? There was a quilt on the Today Show that had won the $100,000 award, and Al Roker said something like, "For a blanket? Uh-oh, you don't call a prize-winning quilt a blanket." So, okay, we were talking about, hi, Bonnie, thanks for taking that time to do that. We were talking about the winning answer on the poll question on our Yahoo group about she won out of over 10,000 other contestants. She won, and her prize winnings were $2,500, and that just seems so surprising. Patty Chamberlain's here. Hello, Patty from Maine. So glad to see you. I was listening to myself the other week. Does anybody, you probably don't, because I think it was kind of a regional show, but there used to be a show on called Romper Room, and she would hold a mirror, and she would say names of children whose parents had sent their names in, and it was cute as it could be. But anyway, and she kind of became a local celebrity in Norfolk, Virginia, where I grew up. So, all right. Let me see something here, guys. It is supposed to touch there. So, you watched that show, Romper Room? I remember that when I was a little girl. But sometimes when I go, oh, so-and-so's here, I think, oh, no, I sound like the Romper Room lady, except I don't use a mirror, so a looking glass. I'll tell you who I miss is Mr. Rogers. 2 of my children loved him dearly, and I was tickled because I enjoyed watching the show. I wasn't that big on the Land of Make-Believe, but I love Picture Picture. Thank goodness when they started that show, How It's Made, because I love Picture Picture. You were all glued to the TV when she held up the mirror. That's cute. That is so cute. Yep, everybody wants to think somebody knows them or they're important somehow. Captain Kangaroo. Garfield Goose. I don't know that one, but I definitely remember Captain Kangaroo. I do remember that. And Mr. Green Jeans, and those were the days. I didn't like Bozo the Clown. I'm not fond of clowns. A lot of people feel that way, I know. But I'm not a clown lover. So I don't like anything where I can't tell what your intentions are. In fact, I'm not always good at picking up on intentions. So let's see. I'm almost ready to show you this, Bonnie. Almost ready. Hold on. This part's not quite lining up, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. So, I got a lot done towards my retreat. Oh, I am coming down the home stretch, and it's like I can't afford to take a breath now. Okay. Love Beanie and Cecil when they would sing Ragbop. My gosh, I don't know that. Isn't that something? I don't remember that. But I barely remember who was that let me pronounce it. Ventriloquist show, Howdy Doody. That was kind of before my time. And maybe we just got our TV late because my parents were just starting out. I was born very early along, and in their relationship, they were married in July, and I was born in May, and they really did struggle. They were 19 and 20, and my goodness gracious, too young to be having babies. But so I have a feeling we just didn't get a TV very early on. But, you know, us baby boomers, I really wasn't as much into the Beatles. I mean, their Abbey Road came out when I couldn't even been more than 12 or 13 or 11. I don't know. So I was a little bit late on some of that stuff. I loved Elton John and Chicago and groups like that. So, oh, this is looking worse and worse, Bonnie. I think I can't try to sew too fast because I'm making big mistakes. So I'm going to try to show it to you anyway. And just know I'll go back and fix this. Sometimes you think, I've been doing this for so many years. Certainly, I won't make the same mistakes. Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, yeah. Okay, looks like I'm going to have to cut out some bigger triangles. Yeah. Anyway, ready? I'm going to show it to you anyway, even though it's not right. This is my paint chip challenge so far. That's my paint chip challenge. And I wanted to let Bonnie know that I am taking it seriously, girlfriend. And this is going to be a 1-block wall hanging. And it's going to be about 17, 18, probably 18 inches square. But I wanted to let Bonnie know that I value this. And see my colors? I think I'm doing really, really well with my colors. So I'm very excited. And I was the gal that said, I don't have any coral fabrics. Turned out I had plenty of coral fabrics. And here are all my pieces that go with it. So I will be working on that, honey, and I will finish it. And then I'll quilt it and all that good stuff. So, sorry, that's what I was working on, and I didn't want to show you yet. And I'll show you Kiwi's tail soon. It's about 3 inches long now. And, oh my gosh, she and I are just mad about each other. Mad about each other. Real quick, while I'm here, I thought I would show you something good I did. And just so, in case you think, because I haven't been posting videos and stuff, you think I'm not busy, this is my to-do list. I have 1 week to do this to-do list, okay? And that doesn't even count cleaning the camper, which I have to do. I'm going to be closing this out at 4:30 today. Sorry about that, guys, but I've got to, now that it's getting dark earlier, I've got to get out and clean the camper because I got to have it done. And when we just, I was writing some of, and you should see, I have this much I've already done. It's like, I had the business part of the retreat to do. And then I make up a word search. I make up a word search, meanings match, at your seat scavenger hunt, which is a lot of fun. And so I have to think, okay, what did I call out last year? What do I need to do this year? I had to make a block for our block raffle at it. I'm currently working, I'm going to be showing you, I'm working on something for the gift exchange. I had to get my bingo stuff ready. We played quilt bingo. That's a lot of fun. And I got all that stuff ready. Had to make a new block for the word tessellations. We realized, oops, I thought I felt something touch my toe. Kiwi! That little rascal. Grommet, get away. Just 1 second. Grommet's right on the floor with Kiwi. And remember, he was the one that kind of wanted to play with her. You be good. Come here. Come in, Kiwi. Come on, Kiwi. I just love live broadcast. Where is she? Hold on a second, girls. Girls, I have a subscriber who's a guy, if I'm right. I think she is under there, isn't she? 1 second. Come on, Kiwi. Come on, Kiwi. Come on. Well, she's under my desk, and I'm hoping she'll come out soon. Grammy, you need to go under your desk. Come here. Come on. Come on, Grammy. Grammy. Go under there. Go on. Under there. Under there. Okay. Now I'm hoping she'll come out. Kiwi. Come on, Kiwi. Oh, good girl. I guess she wanted to come see y'all. Here she is. Let me make sure she doesn't have dust. She was under my desk. Oh, don't fly around. Oh, isn't this fun? Yes, we're here to talk about quilting, but look at this tail. Isn't it grand? I'm so tickled. Got her tail back. Okay. I will show you that quilt in the background in just a moment. You know, it reminded me, I think, Bonnie, it was in your photo album on the Yahoo group. You have a string quilt, I think. I think it was yours. But first thing I'm going to show you, now that I spent 10 minutes trying to catch a bird. Okay. I was real tickled that I did this. Yeah, it's not taking long at all. Now, it will get about 8 inches longer. They have long tails, so, or 7 inches longer, something like that. But it's doing really, really well. I've made sure to give her extra vegetables and vitamins and calcium to help grow those back in. Oh, don't you hate when you run out of a fabric and you're wanting to? Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. I had a subscriber the other day that was a guy. A cute guy, too. And he's a skier and all this, but I noticed that, you know, we're getting more guys joining in quilting. I think John Flynn did a lot, you know, of good for the industry, you know. And it makes sense that engineers would love quilting. So what this is a tube that my YLI silk threads came in. And I had 5 spools of neutrals in this. Well, it's wonderful to now use for bobbin carrier. And I'm so proud of me. I'm on the ball. I'm on the ball now, girls. And so I wound a bunch of bobbins. And you know these little things. They're just the little hair. The hair scrunchies you get at Walmart for like $2 and something, and you get 2 tubes of these full of them. And that's the best thing. My friend Ann taught me this some years ago. And they're just little hair scrunchies. And you pop them on the bobbin. And then you put the bobbin in here. And I have a few color bobbins at the bottom. But I have some black ones. White bobbin, because I hardly ever use white. I have a couple tan or beige bobbins, and then my assortment of grays. So you can't really see the colors good because of the bobbin covers. But, so if you don't already use these to cover your bobbins, they're a great choice. Some people are using the little rubber ones that I have seen, the little curls, but I've been told that they end up stretching out and they don't hold good after a while. The nail separator, oh, now that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And don't you just love those dollar stores? What was I looking at to tell you? Anyway, I got my bobbins wound for the retreat. And let me tell you, when I go to a retreat, I try to have my fabric cut out. I try to have a general understanding of how I'm going to sew the quilt. I try to have my bobbins wound because you get talking and having fun. Good idea, Bonnie. You get talking and have fun. And when the bobbin runs out, you know that saying, you know, it's all fun and games until the bobbin runs out. So I try to have lots of bobbins already wound, so I keep going. And then I do not like to take I do not like to take and cut out fabric while I'm at a retreat. You have to concentrate to do that, and it's hard to concentrate when people are cutting up and having a fun time. And what is the retreat about? It's about being around people and having fun. Now, I'm not saying that when I go to a retreat, I'm always ready to have fun, because I am mostly an introvert. I'm a little bit more of an introvert than an extrovert. So I have to have a little time in my own head. It's one of the reasons I stay in my camper rather than the lodge, because I need to I'm on most of the time because I run the retreat. I run the game, most of the games and activities. I have to have time where I can walk away, go to the camper, and be by myself and be quiet. So that's important for me. And all right. And I used to think, I want to take people in the camper with me, but then I can't get my quiet time. So it's important. I have to recharge my batteries. And that's that's one way you can tell whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. If you're an extrovert, you get energy from being around people. If you're an introvert, you get exhausted after being around a lot of people. So I was talking about things I made for the retreat. Yeah, you do have to have that cave time. We're supposed to be bringing, 2 ladies took on the gift exchange. And I love the way they did it. We were running a little bit late to get all that stuff organized. And so they said, buy a mug that has a quilting saying or quilting theme to it, and then make or buy gifts to put in it. I think they said around $15 or $20 maximum. Well, I was really excited about making something this year. I love making a gift for people. So this is what I made. And I saw this somewhere, I forget. And it was a downloaded, I didn't forget. It was a downloaded free, you know what? I made a video. It'll be on the video, and I'll write it down below here. But it had a cute paper piece spool, which I just loved. And then I took and I did a zigzag. And over here, it's going to be hard for you to see, but it says sew, S-E-W, and around. And you know what? I'm glad to hear, Patty, I'm glad to hear you like these colors, because what I did is I said, I want to make it my signature colors. So when people look at this, they'll go, I know who made that. Deb and her jewel tones, I'm a one-trick pony. But I have some little work to do in the corners. I machine edged the little binding, and some of my corners are awkward. So what I did is I took the matching thread, rolled it up on a piece of tape, and I'll take it upstairs tonight when I'm watching TV so I can fix it. But this is my first ever attempt at a mug rug, my first one ever made. And that's why I like, sewing. But I got to tell you something, girls. I'm not good at embroidery. I had a mess of a time, and you can see how it's not, I wanted to make it all smooth and free looking. I'm not good at that. So that's how you can tell it's homemade, because if it were perfect, it would have been done by a computer. And you're going to set a cup of coffee on it and probably some cookies. So it's okay if it's not perfect. But anyway, I like it, and it was made with love, and whoever wins it, I hope they enjoy it. If not, they can choke on their coffee. No, I'm teasing. Anyway, just remember, I've got this list to get done this week. So, there, you can feel sorry for me now. Well, maybe it's a good time to talk about the cute little quilt behind me. And then as soon as we're done talking about the quilt behind me, let's do the drawing, okay? All right. Hold on. Let me grab it. Are you going to help me, Miss Kiwi? Kiwi's going to help me with it. Uh-oh. Okay. And remind me after I show you this, remind me to tell you about the great thing I thought of to do with this stand. And in fact, the stand, he told me yesterday the stand was his mom's, and it's a clothing rack, one of those temporary. and his mother passed away a couple weeks ago. So, and it's a complicated thing, but it's still sad. So this is a quilt I did just for fun, and I'm going to be doing more of these. I love these string quilts, and you grab your, if you can sew a word on your machine and get it to be readable, that means you're great at it. Well, good. Well, it was a little bit readable. But anyway, but I love string quilts. And I'm trying to think, yes, this was done. I can see little bits of paper left in the seams because I said, did I make what I did instead of just doing them totally random? I made up a pattern on my EQ8. Actually, my EQ7 because it was years ago. And that way, I like my lines to meet. I am a very symmetrical girl. You know what I mean? Very symmetrical. And so I wanted these to roughly meet, and I like it better. But I just picked up scraps and colors and just picked out, it's scrappy, but in a slightly controlled manner. And I had this was my theme fabric. And so I chose fabrics that reminded me of this. Now remember, when you choose colors, don't choose the exact colors that are in here. Like if you look at this color, it is not in here. It's not in there. You don't want to do matchy-matchy. I know when we first started quilting, they'd say, well, look at the color dots on your selvage and match those. If you do, it will end up being a very lifeless quilt. And I took this in a class from Miss Jenny Beyer. And you know, hey, if she says it, it is. It is. But actually, she showed us 3 quilts. And in one of them, she just used the exact colors in the selvage of the focus fabric. And it was dull. It was a well-executed quilt, but it didn't sparkle. And then she showed a quilt where you took light and dark versions of the color in the focus fabric. And that gives it its sparkle. And you can even see that because like this color, it's not in the quilt. This color is not in the quilt. This color, nope. This color's not in there. But notice how it has a little bit of sparkle. That comes from going lighter or darker. And that's exactly what I did. So some of my blues might be darker than I found in the quilt. Some of them are lighter. Some of my purples are darker than in the focus fabric, I mean. So this is this, and I like it. And I realize that if I keep showing you a quilt every week, not all of them are going to have been quilted yet. But that's okay. It's what we call a floppy, which it's just the top. It will be quilted eventually. And luckily, I don't participate in any competitions or any UFO contest because I don't like that pressure. So I do things on my own speed, my own time. And every once in a while, I'll give myself a little like, if I get this done, I can go start another quilt. But for the most part, I'm just relaxed. My life now, my kids are raised. My working days are behind me. Cross my fingers. It's now my schedule, my rules. Well, except for Mark's. Connie, what do you want for dinner? I can plan. I'm going to tell you this, ladies. I can plan a dinner and have everything defrosted. And he walks in the door and I said, what do you think of a chicken pot pie tonight? No, I'm not really interested in that. And being a strong feminist woman, I go, okay, what would you like? So I love pleasing him. He's so good to me. So, in fact, I'll tell you how good. You want to hear how good he is to me? he has this thing out there. It's the hanging thing, strip thing, and it's to keep bugs and mice out of the camper. And evidently, there were quite a few bugs in that camper. He's so good to me. He went out with his shop vac and he vacuumed those bugs up so I wouldn't have to deal with it. Wasn't that nice? Okay, I'll cook him what he wants for dinner. Or let him go buy something for us. Anyway, I tell y'all too much of the truth. I do. I need to worry about how I come across and make sure I protect my reputation. So, that's good. Doesn't it get tiring to hear, oh, I'm not in the mood for that? I hate hearing it. Sometimes I've learned all I have to do is go, but I do want it. And he'll go, okay. So I don't know why I worry. He just go, okay. But I love it when I want to cook something like chicken livers that he's kind of on, and chicken pot pie, and he'll say, well, I could go pick us up a pizza or some Chinese. I'm so easy. I tell you, I'll just, sure. Oh, what a mess. This is the real me. Okay, so we've talked about the paint chip challenge. Yay. The mug rug, showed you that. Faults, the good and the bad with it. And, oh, I know what, before we draw the prize, I want to tell you something. I realized this week, and I got so excited, because I'm working on a quilt that I really need a design wall. But where we're going for the retreat, you cannot put anything up on the walls. And I understand they don't want people sticking pins and stuff in their walls. It'll ruin the room. And I thought, what do I do? And we've been taking the old flannel back tablecloth and trying to tape them to a window, and they don't stick good and they fall down. Guess what I thought about? Right here, this rack. And I found my huge piece of flannel that I used to have up on this wall in front of the fireplace, but it never really worked good. And I had it all hemmed, and I used to have it running on a wire. So I found it, and I had pieced it from 2 widths of flannel, okay? So I gave it a good wash. I wanted to fluff it all back up. In fact, I'm afraid to iron it. It's kind of wrinkly, but I'm afraid if I iron it, it'll iron the nap down and it won't hold the fabric as good. Does anybody have any suggestions about that? But I measured this rack. All I have to do, I'm so excited. I'm going to sew it like a pillowcase, and I'm going to make it just the right size so it's kind of taut when I put it over the top of the rack. And so like a pillowcase, when I sew across the short way and then down the side, and the other side will be where I've already seamed. This will be one side that goes against one pole, and the seam I'm going to make on it will be coming down the long side of the other pole. If I sew across the short side, that way it'll fit at the top. Now, but yeah, you know what? That's a good point, Bonnie. If it's wrinkled, how is it going to hold fabric box? And the thing I love about this, because when we were, I'm going to do that. Good thinking. Iron it on the back side, the least fuzzy side. Good thinking. So the nicest thing about putting it on like a pillowcase over this frame is I can take it off. And then pack up the frame in bits and pieces so I don't have to carry it like it is. But I got so excited. I'm going to keep it that way for here. I mean, I can still always hang quilts over it, but I'll finally have a design wall. I turned my hallway into a design wall, if you ever saw my studio tour, by using a paint roller and rolling liquid starch on the closet doors, and then just rubbing the flannel into the liquid starch. But honestly, I can't get back from it. It's in a narrow hallway and I can't get back from it. So, oh, that's right. I can use both sides of it. Oh, I'm so excited. So if you don't have space or a wall for a design wall, consider these racks. You can get them for like $25 if you look good, like at Walmart or something. And then make yourself a pillowcase with 2 links of flannel seamed together down the long side. So this I'm going to be working on this week too. So I am so excited about that. You see me throw that stuff? I love throwing stuff. This is what kind of girl I am. I love ripping fabric, love tearing fabric, love it. And besides the fact that you get a perfectly straight seam, it's fun. And I love throwing fabric. And I blame it on Eleanor Burns. She just taught me to toss it, and I love it. The only problem, I don't toss it onto the floor anymore because I don't have a team of assistants to come pick it up when I'm done. It's just me, and I don't want to have to pick it up. So I throw it on surfaces. All right, so we talked about the design wall. I showed you my to-do list, and we talked about the bobbin winding. All right, I have 3 things left. Let's go ahead and let me see who I have in the list. Okay. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Did y'all write in? Melissa's not here today. I don't know. Maybe she told me she couldn't make it. I'll miss her. All right. I know that Anne made a guess. And I'm going to put Becca's name in. You know, we love our Becca. Michelle's not here. Let me see. Hold on. Diana 57. I know she made a guess. And Miss Bonnie made a guess. Do y'all want to guess what the name of the winning quilt that Jenny Beyer first competed with in 1975, I believe. And she entered it in the Good Housekeeping American Quilts competition. So do y'all remember? Anybody, just type it in. And let's see how smart you all are. I just read Patty's comment on she liked the colors of the string quilt. I think it was a string. No, maybe it was the mug rug. But as you see with the string quilt, I'm very fond of the same colors. So that's a good idea. In fact, you know, Bonnie uses foam core board she gets from the dollar store, tapes them together, and then covers it with the flannel. I had bought the pink 4x8 sheets of rigid foam insulation from Lowe's, Home Depot, one of those, and I was going to cover that with it. But then where do you put them when you're not using them? And I had thought of trying to somehow with duct tape make them accordion fold. Well, this I'm thrilled with. I'm thrilled that I realized, because I can always take it, put it in my laundry room, and then bring it in here if I don't want it in the way. But it's so easy just to push over to the side. So I am happy, happy, happy. So, you know, I tell Mark, if I were a millionaire, okay, it would make it, I would probably give half away. But it's not money that makes me happy. It's ingenuity. It's as long as you have food and have the money to pay the basics, then it's being creative that really makes me happy. So, all righty. So, are we still here? Anybody guess? The answer to the question was Ray of Light. Thank you, Miss Bonnie. It was the Ray of Light quilt. And I think her daughters nickname. Maybe her daughter was like Rachel, her name was Rachel or something, because she named, I remember that ray word. But it's a ray of light. I've seen it in person, and I just want to tell you, not every bit of it lines up perfectly. So when you're thinking about being hard on yourself and saying, well, my quilt's not good enough for you fill in the blank, remember, the Ray of Light quilt is one of the 100 best quilts of the 20th century. And not everything lines up in the center. And please understand, I was thrilled, because then that means we don't have to be perfect to celebrate something we create. And I was thrilled and proud that Jenny didn't go back, now that she is the quilt goddess she is, and try to redo it and make it perfect. Because you know what? That's not the point. And so it made me all around very happy. So, Sonia, since you have been such, hold on, Sonia and Patty, I'm going to put your names into the drawing. And I'm going to put Sonia's name into the, and if you win, which you probably will, then just send me an email with your address and I will mail it out to you. And don't worry, I think I've got an idea for Miss Bonnie for a prize, but if not, I have a second idea, Miss Bonnie, for you. All right, so let me show you. No, they're here. All right, here is what we have for today. I picked out some things I thought you might like. Bonnie, I was thinking of this as a prize for you. And you need to have a background, but it comes with the colors. The other colors. So all you need to do is put a background to it. And that way you can kind of choose something you like. Oh, good. For the other prizes, we have from Miss Bonnie, an angel. Isn't that gorgeous? And we have this. And this one, it's called for wools, but you can use regular fabrics too. And now, I'm showing you all this so you can be choosing, because once I call the winner's name, then that way you'll know what you want. Here is a panel from Miss Bonnie. I love cardinals. That's beautiful. And for those of you who like embroidery and red work, here is a wonderful red work panel. I mean, how nice and easy is that? Sit down in the evening in front of the TV, especially now the evenings are longer and longer, and pull out your DMC floss and go to it. All right. And for the kitty lovers among you, and you know you're out there, I'm horribly allergic, so I don't do the kitties. But look at this. Look at this. It comes with 4 panels and border. And last but not least, another pattern. Okay? So I'm going to draw the name. And when I draw your name, if you have an idea of which one you'd like, and I'll be glad to show you again, then just let me know. All right? The first winner is Diana 57. So she's not here. I will find out from her. Next winner, Becca. So I'll pick something to send to Becca. Patty Chamberlain, next winner. So Patty, if you can remember something you liked I showed you, type it in and I will hold it for you. Anne. I'll get with Anne. Anne's in the mountains this weekend. How nice is that? Miss Bonnie, if you want the Baltimore album thing, then whoops, scared the bird. And Sonia. So, as you can tell, I gave all of y'all a chance. Okay, Patty Chamberlain wants the kitty panel. Let me put her name on this. Yay. And all you have to do is, let me send it to Our Time to Quilt at twc.com. All right, gang. Let me get the tape ready. I love using tape to put. So Patty gets the kitties. Okay. And just make sure you send, don't put your address on here, but if you send it to that email address, then I will have it. All right. And then Bonnie gets that beautiful Baltimore album. And that came from the Pineapple Fabrics. Okay. Bonnie. I got it for me, but I said, this is perfect for Bonnie. So just like you said, it just told me I need to go to Bonnie. And you know, we must listen to the fabrics and the patterns. All right. Now, Sonia. Oh, Diane 57. Okay. Let me get first. Sonia, which one did you want, sweetie pie? There's the red work. There is the Christmas panels. There is this pattern. And this pattern. And this pattern. And Diane, you won too, and I'm going to give you a chance also. So, Sonia, do you know which one you want, sweetie? Whoops, let me see. Okay. I will hold them up, and that way you can tell me. Because I want, Sonia, you're too easy going. You gotta step out there and say, this is what I want. So, okay, this angel one, this with the flowers, and it says wool, but you can put anything you want, and then this one. So which one do you want, sweetheart? I want you to have just the one you want. Flowers. Gotcha. Okay, so this is Sonia's. Okay, Diane 57. Which one do you want? And of course, you know, I'm not going to give away your names or addresses to anybody. So I keep all that very private. No one has to worry. You're welcome, sweetie pie. So do we get, yeah, we got Patty's. Oh, you know what? Is Kenzie around? What was it? Patty Chamberlain's grandchild that was named Kenzie? Ah, good girl. All right. I need Diane. Yeah, so because if she's there, tell her we said hi, Kenzie. Diane, I've got beautiful panel of a beautiful panel, Diane, of the red work designs or the Christmas designs or these two patterns. So which one do you want, Diane 57? Um, which prize does Diane want? Christmas. All right. I will put your name on it. It's really, really pretty. It's got birds and like hyacinth. No, what do they call? Hibiscus, poinsettias. It's got a cardinal. Beautiful. Well, happy birthday in December for Miss Diana 57. All right, I will put your name on this one, and hopefully I still have your address. If not, I will email you and let you know. Don't write it down here because we keep it private. So this is, we've been real lucky. We had we had somebody interject a weird thing last week, but we haven't had too many crazy people. Okay. So Diane 57 gets that. That's exciting. Hi, Kenzie. Hi, Kenzie. In fact, Kenzie, your Nana won a prize this week, and I'm going to put something special in just for you, okay? I'll put one in your package for you, too. That way you get a prize just like Nana. So I will put that prize in. And it's good to see you, Kenzie. Hi, sweetie. Do you see my birdie, Kenzie? My birdie's doing really well. And I just love her to bits. And she's so much fun to play with. And she likes to lay on her back and I tickle her. So, Kiwi, hey, want to say hi? Hi, want to step up? People always worry when birds get ready to step up on your finger, they always use their beak and kind of do this on your finger. They're not trying to bite you. They're trying to make sure it's instinctual for them to check a branch before they step on it in case it's rotten. So they're just checking. So, Kiwi, come here. I think she's a little chilly down here, so she's hiding under my hair. It's nice and warm. I put off good heat, let me tell you. So, okay. So I have a prize for Becca and Ann. I'll get with them. And that was fun. I want to thank this prize today. Please thank Bonnie. Almost all of these prizes came from Bonnie. And I tell you what, Bonnie, we love you, girl. Don't know what we'd do without you. And I don't know if you saw on our Yahoo group, Miss Bonnie had a Halloween t-shirt on, which I thought was so cute. Kenzie, you are very welcome, sweetheart. I will send you something sweet in that package because you're such a nice girl. And you're our youngest Our Time to Quilt person. So that's great. Well, I wanted to tell you last week I showed you the quilt pattern I had worked on an EQ8, and my sweetheart Mark said, I think it's too busy. And he was right. So, you won't believe this, but I was looking through an old magazine because I've decided, how do I say this? I've decided that the stacks in each of my reading rooms, if you know what I mean, the stacks of magazines are getting too high. And it's like I look through a few things and sit it on the pile, and the pile keeps getting taller. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of all the clutter in my life. So I'm trying to get rid of some of this stuff. So, yeah, Bonnie's wonderful. So we still have some. Don't worry, Bonnie. I think we still have some. So we're doing good. I just wanted to have fun today and go prize nutty. And especially since I'll be busy with retreat and stuff, it'll hold us for just a little while. And believe it or not, we have like 520 subscribers. So I'm thrilled. I'm excited. That was worth celebrating. But anyway, so I worked on this quilt and that I wanted for my new baby, my grandbaby, and he's going to be, his nickname right now is Gus Gus. And so I worked on it. Mark said, I think it's too busy. And he's so good with, he can look at something. And even though I had spent 8 hours designing it, I said, you're right. So look what I found in my stack of magazines I was going through. I found this quilt. And it has the squares, big squares and small squares on point. And I needed that to showcase the sweet little animals and the animal scenes. This quilt was designed by Diane Nagel from Henderson, Nevada. And she's from Pedal Car Quilts at blogspot.com. I'll have to type this in. The only problem I have is I don't have the whole thing, but I think I have all the cutting things. So luckily, since I'm so old and have been quilting for so long, I think as long as I have the cutting measurements, I can make it. What I loved about this is I love anything on point. Oh my God, I'm a sucker for on point. Although I can't figure out how big to make the outer triangles. After all this quilting, I still have to go look it up every time. But I love on point. But look at the cute little 4 patches that dance around the outside. Isn't that cute? So when I saw this, it's so funny. I've been looking for weeks. I mean, looking everywhere. And then it's only part of the article. I have the intro page and the cutting page and barely beginning this. And that's it. So I'm hoping that everything in the cutting is there. But, and then what I'll do is take and add my own border on the outside of this. But I finally found something. I love the lines that connect the dots. And so you're very welcome, Miss Diane. So anyway, but I am thrilled. And so the quilt was designed by Diane Nagel, Pedal Car Quilts. .blogspot.com. Oops, not 2 C's. Okay, Pedal Car Quilts, blogspot.com. And that way, you know what? Why don't I go to Pedal Car Quilts? Yeah, and find the whole pattern. Hopefully I can find it. Sometimes the patterns they put in magazines, they don't sell right away. This was October 16, so hopefully I can get it. Here's Knitting Fox in Montana. Hello, you just woke up. She must have had fun last night. Hi, Knitting Fox Montana girl. Are you the Montana girl that's on our Yahoo site now that is so much fun and you comment so good? Hi, sweetie. So, we still have a half an hour. I'm excited. Can one of y'all come over and help me clean my camper? I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Don't worry. Mark said it looked pretty good, so I cleaned it real good the last time. In fact, you know what? I cleaned it because we were supposed to go in September, and then we didn't. Ha! I only have to lightly dust it, and I'm done. Yay! Oh, that just made me so happy. Okay. So, yes, you are. We love you to bits, girlfriend. I love it. Okay. I have been camping. I've been camping since I was just a little thing. And back then, my father would go to the military surplus store and buy camping equipment from World War II in Korea. And so I grew up in stinky, dark canvas tents with no floor, no windows, no doors, well, flaps. And we had the first campground where I camped until I was 18, had no toilet. You had an outhouse, and it was well up the hill. No showers. We learned to shower, to bathe in the lake, and no electricity. And my father used to have to take the great big, he had one of these stainless steel, big, thick, insulated jugs that held 5 gallons of water, or did it hold more? And he'd have to take it up to a spigot way up the hill. So that's how I got used to camping. And then when I started camping with my own children, I thought, well, I'm going to get a pop-up camper because, try to tent, and that's a lot. You have to work so hard to get everything packed up. And then you get there and you have to set up a tent. And we're talking about the old Ted Williams tents from Sears. They weren't these pop-up things like they have now. They were the big, old, heavy canvas tents. So I said, you know what? I want a pop-up camper. And so we got one. I thought I was all kind of fancy. Now thinking back of that, oh my gosh. And we had the best campground. So yeah, we had the best campground. And that site we loved the most with the kids didn't have electricity. And I thought, you know what, that's good, because let's get out and away and not know what's going on and just be us as a family. So that worked well for years. Well, then I started getting to the point my asthma would bother me more and more. So I have a motorhome now. I've got to be honest. I always say camper because, in some ways, it's a little embarrassing to have a motorhome, because when Mark first met me, he said, I'm sorry, but this is not camping. And I said, yeah, I know. And I had a different camper then, a lot older. And, but how do I say this? The X made it possible for me to have this nice motorhome. I'll just leave it at that. So, good lawyer, good settlement. Leave it at that. But I'm thinking that next Sunday I'm going to be in the motorhome, and I'm thinking if we can do a little bit later live stream, and if I can get it to work over at the camp with their internet, that we'll do a live stream from the camper, and I'll show you around. I got to tell you, it's nice. I can drive this. It's 38 feet. I can drive it myself. I push a button to level it. I push buttons to put out the slides. The only thing I physically have to do is take the electric cord out of the cubby and go plug it in, and take the hose out of the cubby and go plug it to the spigot. And everything else is automated. And I like that very much. So, what can we say? I think I won't say it. But I think sometimes some of them live in regret, a lot of regret. So anyway, I love that knitting from Montana. I'm going to do something. I hope y'all won't mind, but I've got a prize here left. Since Miss Knitting from Montana has been such a joy and active online, I'm going to let her win something too, because she's been a great member of our Yahoo group. So, are you ready, Miss Knitting Fox Montana? You can choose from this pattern. It's an angel. It's beautiful. You can choose from this pattern, or you can choose this big panel of red work designs. So by the time you do the red work and you get whatever kind of sashing, and they've even got this border. So what would you like as your prize for being such a great part of our Yahoo group? So it's the panel or angel or wreath pattern. What would you like, sweetie? All right, that's great. Get yourself, stock up on your red DMC and sit in the winter over the winter and do this, and then you can cut them apart and put sashing and a border, and you've got a quilt. This came from Miss Bonnie. And so what I'm going to need you to do, Sonia, is on the site or send me an email to Our Time to Quilt, which I know you've probably already emailed me to because that's how I sent you information to join up at twc.com. And those of you who might be watching, consider joining our Yahoo group. It gives us a safe place to cut up and have fun. We share free patterns daily. We just have a lot of fun. So this is for Miss Montana. All right. And the other two, I'll send one of them to Becca and one to Ann. We're done. That was very good. Miss Bonnie provided almost all the I think all the prizes today except the one for her. Since I love blue, it's my signature color. I did a red work in blue. I'll have to show you. I'll write that down so I can show you next week. My red work in blue. The reason it was called red work is because the time that this was popular back in the 1800s that it started, they had some new dyes. The dyes that you're very welcome, sweetie. We're tickled to have you part of our group. And anybody else who might be watching, if you'd like to join our Yahoo group, just send an email to the Our Time to Quilt at twc.com. I will sign you up for our Yahoo group, and then you can be part of our little sisterhood of the quilt and brotherhood, because we do have at least one male subscriber. I'm thrilled. And, we love everybody here. I love everybody, especially Miss Kinsey, our youngest quilter in the making. But what was I getting ready to tell y'all? It's okay. It's okay. Oh, I found the best pattern. Thanks. I love it. I love having a Yahoo group. And I don't know if Bonnie feels this way too, because I get so many things on the email or magazines or something, and I go, oh, I'd love to share. I love sharing stuff. In fact, if I share a candy I like, I enjoy it more. Everything shared is, to me, it's just more fun. And we are apolitical on here. At least we try to be. But please go out and vote. I don't care who you vote for, but please get out there and vote and make your feelings heard, make your concerns heard, and I'll leave that at that. So, because y'all don't want to know I'm a flaming liberal. You don't want to know that. Nah. Anyway, my last topic, because I want, you voted early. Yep, I voted early. Mark beat me to the polls. So I was really proud. I think all my kids have voted. So it's like, you either vote or you shut up, because you can't give an opinion if you don't vote. There you go. See, that's a good reason to vote, because I have a hard time not, shouting out my opinions to the world. I just wanted to tell you, I think we talked about it early last week. And that I have my Jenny Beyer. The last clue came out yesterday. I'm sad to see it end, honestly. It's been a lot of fun. And so this is the recommended. This is the recommended recommended way to put the pieces together. But on her site, she had 16 variations. But I'm kind of thinking I like everything symmetrical, so I don't want things going wonky. But I was hoping to have time to put this together for y'all, but I'll make it into a video and show you. So, layout. Thank you, Bonnie. See, this is why I need Miss Bonnie, because I don't have an entire brain to myself. So, Bonnie completes me. Bonnie, you complete me. So Bonnie helps keep me, straight, and she's smart. I always say she's sharp. That's a word I grew up with. If you were sharp, that meant you were smart, on the ball, quick. So, but thanks. Yeah, I like the circle one. Let me see. Hold on just a second. I might be able to bring it up from her site and show you. So, talk amongst yourselves. You know what? It is fun. I have more fun with this than anything you could imagine. Oh, I almost showed you my DirecTV bill. But okay, let me look. I've got to bring up. Oops. All right, let's see. Yesterday, Jenny Beyer Studio. Okay. Oops, where is it? Okay, hold on just a second. I'm trying to find it. I don't know if I've ever told you the story of why am I such a Jenny Beyer fan. I found that a lot of people do have a person who really inspired or still inspires their quilting. And I gave up quilting. I first learned it, and I showed you my little sampler that I made, and then I put it down. It was all pastels and Sunbonnet Susan. I just had no interest in it. And I put quilting down for about 10 years. And then I saw Jenny Beyer's work, and it was her Moon Glow quilt, and it was an emotional experience for me. I cannot tell you what her colors and her use of light, and it totally changed me. And so I'm very, 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 very impressed. Okay, now let me see. So I wouldn't be quilting if it weren't for her. So that's one of the reasons. I'm just, I'm such a fan. I promise I don't stalk her or harass her. But I am very, very inspired by her. All right, let me see. I tried looking under just the photo part, and I didn't see it. What I'm looking for is to show you all the different choices that she gives you. So I'm trying to find another way, because she shows you like 18 different ways. So, okay. Okay. Oh, boy. Here we go. All right. Let me show you. All right. All right. She's going to be showing, because I would like to get suggestions if y'all see something that you think you would like. And this is showing the pieces I don't want to break any copyright laws, so I'm just showing you a little bit apart so that... Okay, whoops. I want to hold back on. Okay, you see what she's doing? When you do her block of the month, it comes with written and video. Okay, this is the one that I thought I liked best. This was what she first thought of when she first planned this quilt. Okay, now we'll go on where she'll show us more different...
What if I told you there's 18, actually 18 different ways these 3 units can go together to create a tapestry? Some you might like better than others.
Okay, I think I can skip ahead. All right, let's see. And these were kind of paired.
So if I rotate them one more time.
Okay, so now this, what she did, hold on a second, I'm sorry guys. What she did is she's going to place, see how she turns these? And so it just puts the fabric in a different order. Now you've got them out this way. So there's that one. In fact, look at this. So what in the world? We've got just that. Let me see. There's this one, but I don't think I like that one. Yeah, I think I really want a star in the middle. And you can see how you can turn all of them around. So when we finished, I thought, oh, I'm just a little confused. So I'm trying to look one more time. Okay. Where she gave us like 6 to make. Yep, there's that one. Well, I'm trying to be careful, and I don't know what kind of rules she has for it, so I don't want to violate. Oh, okay, that's where that turned around. So, it's like so many choices. So this was supposed to be, I think this one's the one that's original. So, yeah. So that was the original. Now, look at this next one that she shows. I don't know. I think I like these coming together in the middle. Whoops. Where was it? Ah, there it is. Whoops. Nope. Wait a minute. No, I missed it. Okay. So, that's what... Oh, there we go. Whoops, let me see if I can stop it. Oh, gosh, please. Ah. Okay. Are there any of these that you think we should take a poll? Because I really want to choose between these 6. So this will be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Starting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I kind of like this one. This, let me see. Where was her original? Was this, I guess, the original? Or this one, maybe. I kind of like this a little bit, but remember, it's going to have a border around it, so I'm not sure I want... Oh, wait a minute. No, you know what? I think it's going to be made square first. We have some big pieces to put on there. But I like this one. I like this one. I like this one and this one. So, all right. Well, now let me turn that off so I can see what y'all are saying. Thank you for being patient with that. I just thought you could see the dilemma I am going to have. All right, so let me cut that off. Let me go back to there. Hello. Oh, good. I'm writing this down. Thank you for giving me your opinions. I'm writing them down. Okay. 1, 3, and there's another 3, and a 6, and another 3, and a 6. Wow. Okay. Thank you, guys. That was wonderful. You like the one I didn't like, Sonia? I have a feel. Are you? Oops. Why am I stuck? There we are. Sonia, I get the feeling you might be a little younger than I am. And so that probably has something to do with it, too. Because I tend to, I'm getting of an age, and I like symmetry, and I like things to line up, make sense. I'm getting old. Anyway. But thank you for sharing your opinions, because that helps me. It's, I go into an ice cream shop, totally overwhelmed. It's too much to choose from. Just offer me vanilla chocolate and be done with it. You're getting up there? Well, Sonia, you have a young heart. It really comes across. You have a very young heart. So, I love it. Both. Now, I wonder, is Knitting Fox a younger gal? Because she has a young heart, too. I love how playful all of you are. That's wonderful. I think I've found some kindred souls. My girls loved Anna Green Gables, so we tend to kind of use sayings from those things. So, isn't that true? We have young hearts. I love that. I love that. Well, we're down to our last 5 minutes. Do we have any questions today? A little bit younger than me? And do we have any questions? Are you working on something and you're having a problem? You like the one that looked almost square? Okay, I'm going to remember that. Yeah, the rest of our body, physically, my mind and my physical body are two different stages of life. No. 58, I'm 62, proud of it. I have earned every one of my 62 years. Oh, boy, I think the birdie wants to see y'all. What? Oh, no, Birdie had to go to the bathroom. Isn't this great? We've been working on her potty training. You don't know how much I appreciate a bird who won't take a dump on my shoulder. Like I told you, I'm not all that picky. She wanted to get on the computer and see you, so I thought I'd hold her up here. Look at that Buddha's tail. I'm so tickled. For those of y'all who didn't know, my birds evidently wanted to play with her, and they just wanted her to stay still, and so they kept putting their paw down on her tail. And I found out later that, like lizards, they're made to kind of release their tail feathers so they can scurry away and live for another day. So, but she went into shock and everything. I was really scared. But now it's all better. And she's great. And I want to say something, too. I am proud of 62. I want to say something. I watched a show one time on birds, and especially I don't agree with taking any birds out of the wild. And I also am very concerned about some of the large birds that need intensive attention. There's no way I could have a cockatoo or a macaw, any of those, because they are very intelligent birds that need a ton of time and attention. And if I was still working outside the home, I wouldn't have gotten her. She really needs attention every day to be a happy bird. And to me, it would be horrible to be stuck in a cage if you're an intelligent creature and you're just stuck there. And so we play all kinds of games. I've got all kinds of learning things set up for her. and we just snuggle a lot. So please consider, even though I have the bird and she looks all cute and fun, know that there is a ton of work that's involved. And she wants to be with me everywhere I go. And luckily I have a cockatiel upstairs, and he doesn't like to be handled. But we let him free fly, and she goes in and spends some time with him. But definitely know that these birds are full-time care. And I was ready for it, and so I did it. But anyway, not for everybody. And I have to worry also because she could live 30 years. And if I don't, who's going to take care of her? So I would hate to have this special creature who not only misses me, but then doesn't have a home. So no, don't test me. But anything else? So it is like a puppy. I mean, I can't just go off and leave her. And in fact, if it doesn't get too cold, she's going to the retreat with me. I'll take her travel cage and she'll be in the motorhome. But even then I worry. It's going to, I'm going to be over at the retreat and I'll be popping in and out. But I worry now that if I just leave her here, she'll think she's been abandoned. So anyway, guys, any questions? What are you working on? Anybody got something new? Oh, Diane 57. I wanted to tell you I'm working on my paint chip challenge. So I'm very, very proud of that. And please understand, it's not going to be a work of art like Miss Bonnie's. I've just been too busy, but I'm excited. I'm learning stuff with it. So I'm very excited. So yay. So what are y'all working on? Yeah, she will help me because I do leave the retreat by like 8 o'clock. And so and I don't fall asleep until 1. My retreat hours, I don't get over to the retreat until 10 because I'm just a night owl. But she'll be lots of fun. And it gets her ready to go camping. Where my cockatiel is very happy to stay home. He wants his own cage, his own routine. It will come with us when we go camping. So, but she's a cutie, aren't ya? Aren't ya? So anyway, any questions before we leave? And I am sorry to have to cut this shorter today, but good point. Thank you, Diane. In fact, you know what? I don't want to clean with her around, but yes, I will then start this week acclimating her to it. Good point. Thank you. Thank you, Diane. You seem to have a lot of knowledge about animals. That's wonderful. So Bonnie is spending money and waiting for fabric to get there and trying to find your sewing machine again. It's funny how they get covered up by life. Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I am more excited about your paint chip challenge. And I wanted to say, too, I'm sorry I haven't designed the landscape yet. I'm going to do it. It's on my list, I promise. And I definitely want to do it. I forget each year. It's like having a baby. I forget how much work these retreats are. And if I don't do it, I'm afraid it would stop. And it's just so special. So I'll figure it out. And so many things I can't do to the last minute because I don't know who's going to come or how many. And so you're going to do a hunter's start for your paint chip. Good, good. Oh, a hunter's star. I think you meant a hunter's star. Yeah. Oh, I love hunter's star. I love those. Oh, is Kenzie leaving? Bye-bye, Kenzie. Mwah! I hope to see the bird said goodbye, too. So I'll send out all these things before I go on the retreat. So thank you for winning. And y'all are wonderful. Thank you so much. Have a great week. And I hope that you put some needle to thread needle and thread to fabric, because it is so important we feed our soul, especially in such busy, stressful times that, without you, what would all the ones who love you do? So please have a great week. Spend some time feeding your soul. Oh, Diane loves animals, used to raise parakeets. Oh, wow. Used to breed toy poodles and Lhasa Apsos. But don't do that any longer. I don't even have a parakeet because you're allergic to the dust. Yeah. My cockatiel has a lot of dander. I have to be careful. That's wonderful, Diane. I had a Lhasa Apso mix, and it was so funny because she wanted to stay by my feet. She didn't want to get in my lap. And I read that they were bred to be by the feet of royalty. So that is so, so cool. Well, now I know why you're such a smart woman, Miss Diana. So, and then my daughter has a toy poodle named Maisie. She's cute as can be. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. Have a great week. Pick up something new to work on if it gets you going and excited, and do something to feed your soul. Y'all are the best, and thank you for these wonderful Sundays. Thank you, Sonia. Bye-bye, guys. Have a great week. Bye-bye.